Hi, I'm Xihuan Quan. Today I'm going to present on the topic on why governments around the world still impose regulatory barrier on imports entering their markets. The potential type of the regulatory barrier that may be imposed by its foreign export market and how may this impact on the business. First of all, I'm going to talk about the benefit of free trade. International trade is such an important part of our daily life. Without it, some of us will never be able to experience some of the wonderful things. The benefit of free trade are based on few circumstances. The theory of comparative advantage. By specializing in goods where countries have a lower opportunity cost, there can be an increase in economic welfare for all countries. Free trade enables countries to specialize in those goods where they have a comparative advantage. Increased competitions. With more trade, domestic firms will face more competition from abroad. Therefore, there will be more incentive to cut costs and increase efficiency. It may prevent domestic monopolies from charging too high a price. Lower government spending. Many governments subsidize local industry. After the trade agreement removes subsidies, those funds can be put to better use. Even the benefit of trade is unmeasurable. Governments still need to set barriers to protect their own country's culture and interests. Barriers to entry are factors which prevent companies from entering a specific market. Entry barrier may result, for instance, from a particular market structure. It is important to add that government can also be a source of entry barriers. Tariff barriers. A tariff is a tax on imports and raises the price of imported goods relative to domestic goods. This discourages its demand and protects domestic producers from their international competition to a certain degree. As a result, each individual country pays higher tariff on goods determined to be import sensitive. Non-tariff barriers. Non-tariff barriers are generally not measurable and as a result are often hidden costs, typically referred to as red tape, and include quotas, boycotts, license, standard and regulation, local content requirements, restriction on foreign investments, local government purchasing policies, exchange measure, and subsidies. It is important to understand that these types of non-tariff barrier exist and how they affect your business. Government may opt to impose tariff for a multitude of reasons, including the following goal: to protect nascent industry and support domestic employment opportunity. Tariffs are commonly used to protect early-stage domestic company and industry and support domestic employment opportunity from international competitions. The tariff directly afford the domestic company in question the ample runway time it needs to properly nurture, develop, and grow its business into a competitive entity on the international landscape. To combat aggressive trade policy, international competitors may employ aggressive trade tactics such as flooding the market in an attempt to gain market share and put domestic producers out of business. Government may use tariff to mitigate the effect of foreign entity employing unfair tactics. To protect the environment, government may still use tariff to diminish the consumption of international goods that do not adhere to certain environmental standards. After all, how did all this barrier influence business? The government's economic policy have a number of implications for your business. The government's economic policy will affect your business directly via tax and interest rate and indirectly via public spending. Tax law can increase or decrease the amount of tax you have to pay, and therefore will change your net profits. Special rules or exemptions may affect certain business sector. Tax regulation can become very complex, causing you to hire a specialized tax advisor. Higher interest rate will increase what you will have to pay to borrow money. Both tax and borrowing policy will also affect the income of your customer, which could have an indirect impact on your sales. In conclusion, international trade influences our daily life, but the need to impose barrier is necessary to protect each individual countries. Thank you for watching.